Ladies and gentlemen, the conference is about to start in 1 up to 2 minutes. Please make sure that you have taken your seats. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm kindly asking each of you to stand up for the national anthem of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Thank you very much. Dear guests, distinguished participants, dear ambassadors and representatives of international institutions, welcome to Zəngilan. I'm excited to greet all of you at the 3rd International Conference on Mine Action, Mitigating Environmental Impact of Landmines, Resource Mobilization for Safe and Green Future. I'm your moderator for the next 2 days. Today and tomorrow, my name is Eldar Rasulov, and I'm here to make sure that everything goes smoothly for you. In case you have any questions, please approach me, and I will do my best to delegate it to a corresponding organizer. It needs to be mentioned that there are a lot of familiar faces in this auditorium. We've been conducting these kind of events for a while now, and honestly, it's flattering to see that along with new participants each conference, there are people who are dedicated and interested in what we are doing. This time, there are also people that I personally have been waiting to meet for a long time now because they were parts of our conference before, but not physically, but usually connecting to us via video messages. During these 2 days, we get to hear them speak from the stage, and we are very excited for that. There are so many amazing and outstanding people that I'm looking forward to introduce to you and give the floor to them. Without further ado, I would like to invite to the stage a person that I have met recently, and her life story shook me to the core. We have decided that she's the one who deserves to have the first remark during this conference because she's the person who knows the devastating effects of landmines probably better than anyone. Please, with a round of applause, welcome to the stage Ms. Tamam Jafarova, a landmine survivor. Tamam Hanım. Tamam Hanım, sizi səhnəyə dəvət edirik. While we are waiting for Tamam Hanım, let me remind to the participants that on your badges you can get the information by QR code, the agenda of the event, and make sure you observe everything that's happening. We will have a form for you to fill at the end of the conference. I hope all of you has a great experience in Zəngilan. Okay.
Hörmətli qonaqlar, dəyərli konfrans iştirakçıları, hər birinizi salamlayıram. Sizinlə bütün çətinliklərə baxmayaraq həyatıma güc gətirən və ən çətin sınaqlardan belə keçə biləcəyimə inam gətirən həyat hekayəmi paylaşmaq istəyirəm. Mən 30 ilə yaxın əvvəl Cəfərova Tamam 1-ci Qarabağ müharibəsindən miras qalmış, minalanmış sahənin qurbanı oldum. Çox gənc idim. Heç düşünməzdim ki, bir mina mənim həyatımı həmişəlik dəyişə bilər. Tovuzda doğulduğum kənddə, dinc bir güşədə inəyin arxasınca gedirdim. O yolun sonu mənim və ailəm üçün həmişəlik faciə ilə sonlandı. Bütün çətinliklərə ayaq amputasiyası həyatımda dərin iz buraxdı. Amma ruhumu qırmadı. Bütün çətinliklərə baxmayaraq cəmiyyətə inteqrasiya edə bildim. Çünki söz vermişdim ki, yaxınlarımı ağlatmayacağam, onlara göz yaşlarımı göstərməyəcəm və güclü olacağam. Cəmiyyətdə öz yerimi tapa bildim və çox fəal bir üzv oldum. Mən də sizin kimi işləyirəm, öyrədirəm və tam həyat yaşayıram. Doğma Tovuzumun torpağı, gözəl təbiəti, 1-ci Qarabağ müharibəsindən miras qalmış, minalardan çox əziyyət çəkib. Mənim kimi qurbanlar var deyə, uşaqlarımız uzun illər qorxu içində yaşayıb. Qarabağdakı vəziyyəti isə təsəvvür etmək mənim üçün daha da çətindir. Lakin torpaqlarımızı normal vəziyyətə qaytarmaq şansımız var. Minaların təmizlənməsi cəmiyyətimizin yenidən möhkəmləsində mühüm addımdır. Sizi hörmətli beynəlxalq təşkilatların nümayəndələrini bu çətin işdə Azərbaycana dəstək olmağa çağırıram. Bu təkcə təhlükəsizlik məsələsi deyil, həm də məcburi köçkünlərin öz tarixi torpaqlarına qayıtması məsələsidir. Lakin təhlükəsizliklə yanaşı minaların ekoloji fəsadlarına da diqqət yetirmək lazımdır. Mən nitqimin əvvəlində başıma gələn hadisəni vurğuladım. İnəyin dalınca getdiyimi də əbəs yerə demədim. Bunu unutmayın ki, mənim kimi kənddə dünyaya göz açıb böyüyən insanların bir çoxunu gündəlik məşğuliyyəti heyvandarlıq və kənd təsərrüfatı ilə bağlıdır. Həmin kənd təsərrüfatı ki, Azərbaycanın iqtisadiyyatında da çox böyük rol oynayır. Torpağın və suyun çirklənməsi təbiətimiz və ailələrimizin sağlamlığı üçün ciddi təhlükəyə çevrilir. Təmiz və sağlam ətraf mühit təmin etmək üçün gələcək nəsillər qarşısında məsuliyyətimiz var. Mən arzu edirəm ki, heç bir uşaq, heç bir dinc sakin, heç bir Azərbaycan vətəndaşı doğulduğu, yaşadığı yerdə qorxu ilə hərəkət etməsin. Gündəlik məşğuliyyətlərini icra edərkən özünün və ailəsinin həyatı bir an içində faciəvi şəkildə dəyişməsin. Əsrlərlə dədə babalarımızın zəhməti ilə zənginləşdirilən torpaqlarımız minalara görə yararsız hala düşməsin. Mən istəyirəm ki, bütün minalanmış sahələrimizdə həyat dirçəlsin, gül çiçək əkilsin, heyvanlar otarılsın. Bunun üçün sizə bir daha çağırış edirəm. Donorları cəlb etmək, texniki yardım göstərmək və Minatəmizləmə prosesini sürətləndirmək üçün qüvvələrimizi birləşdirək. Təhlükəsizlik və ətraf mühit məsələlərini bir-biri ilə sıx əlaqəli olduğunu anlayaq, xatırlayaq, unutmayaq ki, yalnız birgə səylərlə hamımız üçün təhlükəsiz və keyfiyyətli gələcək yarada bilərik. Diqqətiniz üçün təşəkkür edirəm. Alındı.
Çox sağ olun, tamam. Thank you, Ms. Jafarova. Your willpower and commitment are of a great importance for all of us. Thank you for your service. Before moving on, I wanted to highlight several facts about Zəngilan. I'm sure you had a chance to look around before you arrived to the Zəngilan City Conference Center. The thing is, everything you've observed so far for a short period of time and will observe today have been done in a very short period of time. The rebuilding and restoration works are going in a very intense manner, and it shows the dedication of the government of Azerbaijan to see the flourishment of liberated territories as soon as it is possible. On this note, I would love to introduce our next speaker, a person that plays a crucial role in the executing of the mission that I've mentioned a few moments ago. Please welcome Special Representative of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan in the Jabrayil, Gubadlı, and Zəngilan districts, Mr. Vahid Hacıyev.
Thank you, Eldar Malim. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all of you to Zəngilan on the occasion of the opening of the 3rd International Conference on the Mine Action. The commencement of this conference, international conference in Zəngilan, holds great symbolic significance, and we are very honored to have you all here. I'll give you some thoughts about the Zəngilan, what we have done so far, and not only Zəngilan, Jabrayil, and Gubadlı. As you know, following the glorious victory of Azerbaijani army in the 44th Patriotic War, 44-day Patriotic War, under the leadership of Mr. President İlham Aliyev, our primary goal has been set as a sustainable resettlement of former IDPs in their homelands. Consequently, the large-scale reconstruction efforts have been initiated here. As been already mentioned today, one of the significant challenges during the reconstruction has been related to the demining and ensuring security. These territories were heavily contaminated with mines during nearly 30 years of occupation, making them among the most affected areas. This contamination has not only endangered the environment of Karabakh and Eastern Zangezur, but has also impeded the development of agriculture, tourism, and also other economic sectors. And a big thanks to the tireless efforts of the miners. These territories are being cleared of mines, ensuring people's safety and reducing the environmental impact of mines. This event provides an excellent opportunity to engage in extensive discussions about Azerbaijan's achievement and successes in this field. Today, sustainable construction is taking place across Eastern Zangezur and Karabakh, with obviously active projects which is going in the various parts of this region. Our primary objective includes the reconstruction of 3 cities, 5 settlements, and 24 villages in Cəbrayıl, Qubadlı, and Zəngilan. It's all been planned to be constructed by the end of 2026. And these initiatives are guided by the principles of modern urban planning that prioritize sustainability, inclusivity, and safety. I also would like to highlight that Zəngilan was the first region in the liberated territories which welcomed all the ex-IDPs to their homelands. The smart village of Ağalı, inaugurated in the spring 2022, now thrives with its residents living happily and freely, and you have an opportunity today to see that village in person. Today's conference provides a valuable platform to address global challenges and opportunities related to mine problems, allowing us to exchange leading expertise in this sphere. As we strive towards achieving a mine-free world, this third international conference will generate significant global momentum. And I'm confident that we will witness highly engaging and insightful discussions today. I wish you all, the participants, the best of success. And before I will finish there will be a short video about the development of Cəbrayıl, Qubadlı, and Zəngilan. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hajiv, thanks for your remarks. We wish you and your team good luck during your challenging but honorable mission in Cəbrayıl, Qubadlı, and Zəngilan. Dear guests, let me mention that the top leadership of the country has been continuously showing support and attention to the landmine problem of Azerbaijan, mentioning that the demining of the liberated lands is a priority. For sure, all the restoration and rebuilding works on these territories heavily depend on the demining operations. We've approached a very important part of our conference. It's an honor for me to announce that we'll be hearing the welcoming address on behalf of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, His Excellency İlham Aliyev. The welcoming address will be delivered by a person that also often talks about our ongoing landmine problem, bringing it to the attention of the international community. Distinguished participants of the conference, please, with a big round of applause, welcome to the stage Mr. Hikmat Hajiyev, Assistant to the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Head of the Department of Foreign Policy Affairs and the Administration of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Mr. Hajiyev, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, I take a liberty and also with your permission to ask for 1 minute of observance of the silence to the memory of all mine victims all around the world, including the courageous and brave mine clearance operatives. Allah rahmet eylesin. Thank you. I am privileged and honored to deliver the message of His Excellency President Ilham Aliyev of the Republic of Azerbaijan. To the participants of the international conference themed Mitigating Environmental Impact of Landmines, Resource Mobilization for Safe and Green Future. Dear conference participants, I welcome you on the occasion of the opening of the international conference themed Mitigating Environmental Impact of Landmines, Resource Mobilization for Safe and Green Future. Today, mines and exploded ordnance continue to remain an acute problem, posing threat to people's security across many countries. Along with jeopardizing human life, the mines seriously challenge social-economic development, damage the environment, cultural heritage, hinder post-war recovery and development initiatives, and ultimately impede sustainable development goals and even decades after the wars have ended. While mine explosions pose a threat to the people's lives and put their very right to live into question, they also significantly damage the environment. Plastic waste resulting from an explosion entails environmental consequences by negatively impacting soil structure. Mines that remain unearthed for a long time can lead to hazardous chemical reactions. The soil not in use due to the threat of mines is subjected to erosion and abrasion. Therefore, it's in a particularly significant that today's conference is organized in the run-up to the 29th session of the Conference of the Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP29, which Azerbaijan will host. Azerbaijan is bearing the brunt of the 30-year-long conflict and occupation of its lands by Armenia, suffering from the mine pollution problem and stands among the most mine-polluted countries of the world. According to initial estimates, roughly 12% of the country's territory is polluted by 1.5 more million mines and unknown number of the unexploded ordnances. Since the end of the war in 2020, 365 of our citizens, mostly civilians, have fallen victim to mine explosion, resulting in 68 deaths and 293 severe injuries. Overall, since the beginning of the Armenia's aggression against Azerbaijan, over 3,400 of our citizens have suffered from the mines, including 358 children and 38 women. The steady increase in the number of the mine victims is associated with the Armenians' refusal to provide accurate maps of the mines it implanted across Azerbaijan's territory and with placing booby traps along the roads, cemeteries, and other civilian facilities located behind the former line of contact. From 2020 to 2023, new landmine zones were created, stretching up to 500 kilometers. New mines have been planted in Azerbaijan. Responsibility for that rests with Armenia. Challenges we face on demining also hamper our development and recovery efforts, creating serious obstacles for the return of the 800,000 formerly displaced persons. Humanitarian demining is among the top priorities of Azerbaijan state policy, as a foundation of that was laid by national leader of the Azerbaijani people, Heydar Aliyev. Today, the primary body in charge of humanitarian demining in Azerbaijan is the Mine Action Agency of the Republic of Azerbaijan, ANAMA. So far, some 140,000 hectares have been cleared of 120,000 mines and exploded ordnance. Yet, mined areas stretch far beyond that. Mines are easy to plant, but mine clearance is a much more difficult and complex process. In a short span of time, Azerbaijan has mobilized all of its strengths and is using the most advanced and cutting-edge technologies available worldwide. We are implementing measures to enhance efficiency in mine clearance, and our capabilities have significantly improved compared to previous years. All women demining teams have also been deployed since the last year. Our country is implementing humanitarian demining at its own expense. Adequate political practical support from the international community for mitigating humanitarian consequences of the mines and demining the affected areas are of utmost significance. And within that realm, we appreciate international communities so far delivered support to Azerbaijan's humanitarian demining projects. While addressing its mine problem, Azerbaijan has simultaneously launched multiple initiatives to attract the international community's attention to this matter. As you may know, that last year our country has officially declared humanitarian demining as the 18th National Sustainable Development Goal. We are working to ensure the recognition of the issue as the UN's Global 18th SDG. In the meantime, Azerbaijan has launched an initiative to establish a special contact group on humanitarian demining within the non-aligned movement. The contact group has begun its operation since September last year. At the 15th summit of the state parties to the 1954 Hague Convention for the Protection of the Cultural Property in the event of armed conflict held in 2013, a resolution titled Impact of Mines on Cultural Heritage was adopted upon Azerbaijan's initiative. As a follow-up to this momentous resolution, Azerbaijan hosted a special conference in Agdam this May, themed the impact of mines and exploded ordnance on cultural property. In the past 3 years, our country has hosted a number of international conferences in collaboration with the UN UNDP dedicated to the subject of mines. Along with being a leading platform for the discussion of the mine action matters, these events draw great attention to this significant problem that troubles humanity in the modern era. Presently, Azerbaijan is working with the United Nations to establish a Center of Excellence to provide education and training on mine action. A letter of intent is due to be signed between the ANAMA and UNDP on the sidelines of this conference. This notable development will allow Azerbaijan to share its experience with the countries that face similar problems. Today's event demonstrates Azerbaijan's determination to tackle the mine issue, one of the challenges of modern times. I believe that this conference will contribute to addressing the problems of mines and their consequences, including the environmental impact, as well as to the exchange of the advanced experience in the area of the mine action. I extend my best wishes to you and wish the conference every success. Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan. I thank you.
Mr. Ajiyev, we are grateful to you for delivering the welcoming address on behalf of the President Ilham Aliyev. That means a lot for us. Thank you. We are slowly approaching to the first panel discussion of our conference, but we still have several important statements to be delivered. I want to invite to the stage a person who is responsible for a huge amount of demining operations in Azerbaijan, a person who is working hard with a team of professionals to make sure that these lands are safe for our citizens to return to their homelands. As I already mentioned, demining operations play a huge role in the restoration of liberated territories. It's been mentioned throughout the conference by our dear speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Vügar Süleymanov, Chairman of the Board of Mine Action Agency of the Republic of Azerbaijan.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and conference participants. It's a great honor for me to welcome you to the third International Conference on Mine Action held in the Republic of Azerbaijan, focusing on mitigating environmental impact of landmines, resource mobilization for safe and green future. Organized in collaboration with our long-standing strategic partner UNDP, with whom we have maintained a fruitful partnership since 1999. This conference delves into a topic of paramount importance not only for our nation, but also on a regional and global scale. Drawing participation from over 300 guests representing 75 countries, it stands as a testament to the significance of the issues at hand. The conference will provide ample opportunities for our efforts to be mobilized in addressing the global problem of landmines and reducing the environmental impact, thus creating opportunities to share our knowledge and skills in this direction. I would like to highlight that the timing of this conference in Azerbaijan coincides with the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP29, emphasizing our nation's commitments to vital areas such as environmental protection. This marks the third time an international conference on mine action is being held in our country, during which we are visiting our liberated territories as part of the conference frameworks. This provides our esteemed guests with the opportunity to witness firsthand the extensive efforts undertaken by our government to restore liberated cities and villages, as well as to eliminate the explosive remnants of past conflict. I would like to take this opportunity and provide brief information about the landmine problem faced by Azerbaijan, which is among the most heavily mined countries in the world. Currently, approximately 10,285 square kilometers of our territory are contaminated with landmines to various degrees, with up to 1.5 million landmines estimated to be planted during the former occupation period. The impact of landmines and other explosive devices extends throughout the entire region. For example, more than 20,000 mortars and missiles targeted areas inhabited by civilians in the Tartar region. Despite the clearance of these areas by ANAMA, the damage caused by these missiles, including cluster munitions, white phosphorus, has had a significant impact on right to live in clean ecological conditions. Unfortunately, we must note with regret that this contamination not only threatens the right of individuals to live in clean ecological conditions, but also the right to life altogether. From the end of 44 days patriotic war to date, 361 individuals have fallen victim to these explosive devices, with 68 losing their lives and 293 sustaining various degrees of injuries. In total, Azerbaijan has recorded 3,440 mine victims from 1991 to the present day. But this contamination not only poses a threat to the lives and health of our citizens, but also has a significant negative impact on the natural beauty and biodiversity of our regions, such as Karabakh and Eastern Zengazur. The loss of life is undoubtedly the most profound tragedy we faced. Still, we cannot overlook the wider impact of landmine contamination, disrupted energy consumption, destroyed infrastructure, and poisoned soil. More than 900 residential areas in these territories have been reduced to desolation. Fertile soil have been rendered unusable as farmers struggle with decreasing agricultural productivity in these barren wastelands. These areas, renowned their diverse ecosystems, have been severely affected by landmines, their explosions, and the presence of unexploded ordnance, leading to ecological devastation. Rivers, lakes, springs, water wells, and water canals that should provide us with water resources have dried out or become contaminated by explosive remnants of war. The canals that were supplied by these water sources have been polluted by mines, turning them into a source of danger. The number of canals and water wells contaminated with mines and explosive remnants of those areas alone exceeds 300. The once thriving Tərtər, Xaçın, Qarqar, Həkəri, Köndələn, and other rivers now carries the deadly burden of mines, poisoning the waters and worsening the ecological crisis. As ANAMA, we persist in fulfilling our obligations to combat this threat that contaminates nature and ecosystems. Since November 10, 2020, our relentless efforts have resulted in clearing of large territories for ecological assessments, agricultural activities, irrigation, and water resources management. As a result of our humanitarian mine clearance operations in our country, more than 138,000 hectares of land have been cleared, neutralizing total more than 190,000 explosive devices, including more than 32,000 anti-personnel mines, more than 90,000 anti-tank mines, and more than 68,000 unexploded ordnances. The fight against the mine threat remains a priority in Azerbaijan, and we acknowledge the vital connection between the clearance of mines from liberated territories and the achievement of safe and green future. In this regard, Azerbaijan adopted 18 national sustainable development goals on humanitarian mine action initiated by His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Additionally, we promote the adoption of the 18th Sustainable Development Goal on a global scale, focusing on mine action. His Excellency, Mr. President, has frequently declared that Azerbaijan stands ready to share its experience in mine action. As a result, it was decided to establish an International Center of Excellence and Training for Mine Action in Azerbaijan, which will serve as a hub for training and capacity building, certification, and knowledge transfer in the mine action sector at national, regional, and international levels, as well as promote and support research and innovation in mine action to enhance technology and methodologies. And I take this opportunity to inform you that today, during the conference, we are planning to sign the statement of intent between UNDP and ANAMA on cooperation and establishment of the ANAMA-UNDP International Center of Excellence and Training for Mine Action in Azerbaijan, which will foster regional and global collaboration in mine action efforts. The mine action activities carried out in Azerbaijan are primarily funded by our government. Financial assistance from foreign partner countries and international organizations accounts for only 4.4% of the total financing in this area. It's essential to increase international support for the elimination of the landmines problem faced by our country. In conclusion, I thank each of you for joining us in this important event and for your commitment and dedication to the fight against the mine threat. I hope that this conference will contribute significantly to addressing the ecological consequences of the mine threat. I wish everyone a successful and productive conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. ANAMA has been focused on collaboration with international institutions and organizations and values the work that is done and undergoing projects by joint efforts with its partners. The next statement will be delivered by Ms. Ivana Živković, Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations and Assistant Administrator and Director, Regional Bureau for Europe and the Commonwealth of Independent States of the United Nations Development Programme. By a round of applause, please. Welcome, Ms. Živković.
Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, UNDP is honored to join the 3rd International Mine Action Conference. The conference theme, Mitigating Environmental Impact of Landmines, Resource Mobilization, for a safe and green future resonates deeply with the core values of the United Nations Development Program. It underscores a fundamental truth: the safety of our communities and the health of our planet are inextricably linked. Landmines and explosive remnants of war continue to inflict immeasurable human suffering and pose a persistent threat to peace and security. Beyond their immediate danger to human life, they destroy the environment, rendering vast tracts of lands unusable, hindering agricultural productivity, and disrupting ecosystems. Our challenge, therefore, is twofold: to remove these threats and to restore the land to its full life-sustaining potential. This requires a collective action and a holistic approach that integrates political will, technological innovation, community engagement, and international cooperation. Governments play a crucial role in integrating mine action with environmental restoration within national development agendas. The government of Azerbaijan's Grand Return Plan, which includes the creation of green and smart cities, is a testament to such a commitment. It is also worth noting that Azerbaijan has adopted a national SDG 18 initiative that focuses on mine action and emphasizes the importance of addressing landmine and explosive ordnance contamination. This goal, while not part of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, highlights the country's commitment to tackling the specific challenges posed by landmines and explosive ordnance, which are significant. Innovation is key to accelerating our progress. Advances in remote sensing, artificial intelligence, drone technology, animal detection, and mechanical demining have revolutionized the way we detect and clear landmines. These technologies not only enhance safety and efficiency, but also minimize the ecological footprint of demining operations. By investing in research and development, we can continue to develop cutting-edge solutions that protect both people and the planet. Moreover, engaging local communities is essential for sustainable impact, and residents of mine-affected areas are our most valuable partners. They possess invaluable knowledge about the land and its history. Involving them in planning and implementation of demining and environmental restoration projects empowers them to take ownership of their future. Education and awareness programs are also crucial in fostering a culture of safety and environmental stewardship. International cooperation is another vital component of minimizing the environmental impact of landmines. The challenges we face are global, and so must be our response. Through partnerships with governments, international organizations, NGOs, and the private sector, we can pool resources and expertise to achieve greater impact. UNDP's and ANAMA's joint efforts in developing national mine action standards for Azerbaijan, which include a dedicated chapter on environment protection and the joint needs assessment by the United Nations, the European Union, the World Bank, exemplifying this collaborative spirit. As the government of Azerbaijan prepares for the COP29, the commitment to addressing the environmental challenges associated with mine action and the broader challenge of climate change is more relevant than ever. Today's conference and the upcoming COP29 are therefore closely linked, both focusing on transformative actions for environmental sustainability and climate resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, The mission to mitigate the environmental impact of landmines is not just about removing explosive hazards. It's about reclaiming land for life, agriculture, biodiversity, and future generations. It is about transforming scarred landscapes into thriving ecosystems and sustainable communities. As we move forward, let us be inspired by the vision of a world free from the threat of landmines, where people can live in harmony with their environment and where our collective efforts contribute to a brighter, safer, and greener future for all. I thank you.
Accept our gratitude for your statement, Ms. Zhivkovic. It was really comprehensive. We have one more statement before our first panel discussion, and it's going to be delivered to us by video message, as the main topic of our conference is mitigating environmental impact of landmines, resource mobilization for safe and green future. I kindly ask you to pay attention to the monitor, as our next speaker is the Minister of Ecology and Natural Resources of Azerbaijan and COP29 President-designate, Mr. Mukhtar Babayev.
Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to address you at the third International Conference on Mine Action, where we gathered to discuss one of the most pressing issues of our time, the mitigation of environmental impacts caused by landmines and mobilization of resources for a safe and green future. As we prepare to COP29, where the global community will intensify efforts to tackle climate change, it is important to recognize the deep connection between environmental sustainability, peace, and security, with a focus on legacy of armed conflicts. In Azerbaijan, we are actually aware of this connection. The liberation of our territories not only marked a triumph of sovereignty and justice, but also presented a profound environmental challenge and opportunity. For nearly 3 decades, the occupation of our territories left a destroying legacy of landmines and unexploded weapons, transforming fertile landscapes rich with biodiversity into dead zones. These hidden threats not only endanger lives but also delay sustainable development. Azerbaijan stands committed to turning this challenge into an opportunity. We are actively engaged in comprehensive demining operations to clean up our lands. However, demining is only the first step. Our vision extends beyond the removal of mines to the full environmental restoration and sustainable development of the liberated territories. In alignment with the goals of COP29, we are dedicated to integrating climate resilience into our demining and reconstruction efforts. Our target is to create a green energy zone in the liberated territories. By restoring ecosystems and reintroducing sustainable practices, we aim to transform these lands into a green zone. We are using innovative technologies and approaches, such as smart cities and smart villages, to ensure minimum level of emissions. Moreover, green energy zone concept applied in the region will also directly contribute to achieve net zero targets. Dear colleagues, addressing this issue is not a national priority just for Azerbaijan. It is a global challenge. That's why international cooperation and resource mobilization are equally crucial. We call upon the international community and development partners to join us in this mission. Azerbaijan has a long-standing partnership with the United Nations Development Program and other international organizations, which has been instrumental in our demining activities and environmental actions. We are grateful for this support and looking forward to strengthening collaboration in the future. Together, we can ensure that all affected regions worldwide emerge as symbols of resilience, renewal, and environmental restoration. Thank you for your attention.
As this video message concludes the opening part of our conference, we are excited to proceed with the first panel discussion. There will be lots of that, but today we only have one due to the fact that we want you to spend more time around, getting acquainted with the works that have been done and go to a sightseeing. With that being said, I want to introduce the topic of our first discussion, Global Imperatives for Environmental Mitigation. The panel will be moderated by Mr. Sayyad Karim, Member of European Parliament from 2004 to 2019, CEO of Hydra Global BVBA, Strategic Consultants, Brussels. Mr. Karim, can I ask you to proceed to the stage while I introduce the members of the current panel? Dear participants, there is one panelist that, if I may, I would like to introduce first, because I've been waiting to meet her in person for a long time. She's actually been a part of our conferences, previous conferences, even if not physically, but via her touching video messages. A truly outstanding woman with an outstanding life story, a person who had a vision to turn the mines to vines by demining war-torn land and turning it back into prosperous farmland for local agriculture to flourish. She's been selected as the 2023 Laureate World Food Prize. There are more and more significant accomplishments to mention, but I would rather invite her to join our panel discussion, where I'm sure she will contribute more at this point. Please welcome CEO and founder of Roots of Peace, Ms. Heidi Kuhn. And don't think that I'm playing favorites, that's been a long time that I wanted to introduce her in person. And of course, I will ask next significant panelists to join Mr. Karim on the stage. With a round of applause, please welcome Deputy Chairman of the Board of ANAMA, Mr. Zamir Poladov, Vice Chair at the Independent Permanent Human Rights Commission of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Mr. Haji Ali Achikul, and Executive Director at the ASEAN Regional Mine Action Center, Ms. Rotna Booth. Good luck.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, delegates, good morning and welcome to the Third International Conference on Mine Action, first panel discussion. As always with these things, I am running behind time, so I'm going to try and catch up as much as I possibly can in the proceedings. And in doing so, I will first of all limit my own opening remarks, and I invite panelists, please, to try and stick as closely as possible to time allocated to them. As we were landing today at the airport, I clearly recalled first having been brought to this site. And it was at the time when the territories had very newly been liberated. The territories were still sealed. Nobody was allowed in. And Hikmat Hajiev had very kindly made arrangements for me to be able to come and see the situation on the ground for myself. And at that time, I was taken to the site where the airport is today. And it was nothing but rubble land. And in such a short space of time, the scale of development that has taken place really is testament to His Excellency President Aliyev's absolute commitment to deliver development of the territories. But as he always said, his vision is development, but not only for Azerbaijan. This development is for the entire region. And that is a political commitment that he is carrying out and fulfilling. None of that, however, could be possible without the mine clearance work having taken place. And we have all witnessed the very slow, steady, but impactful work that has been done on the ground by ANAMA. And today, once again, to be at this conference supported by UNDP and arranged by ANAMA, I think declares in very clear terms the tremendous scale and ambition that exists to make sure that we very quickly establish both development and peace together throughout the territories. So I thank ANAMA under their chairmanship for all the work that has been done. And very speedily, may I then move on to our panelists today. We are really privileged to have such a high level and distinguished level of expertise available to us today. And with that, I would like to firstly move to introduce and invite the Deputy Chairman of the Board of the Mine Action Agency of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mr. Samir Poladavakif Oglu. He graduated from Baku State University in 1997, majoring indeed in international relations. From 1997 to 1999, he worked in private organizations, and from 1999 to 2019, he worked as a translator, planning and contract specialist, operations specialist, and head of operations at the Department of the Azerbaijan National Agency for Mine Action. And on the 12th of March 2021, Samir was appointed the Deputy Chairman of the Board of the Mine Action Agency of ANAMA by order of President Ilham Aliyev. In 2016, Samir was awarded the medal by order of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan. With that introduction, may I invite Samir to take the floor.
Thank you very much for your introduction. So my presentation will be, I will brief the audience about the extent of the landmine problem, what we do to overcome this challenge, and also with a focus on the environmental impact that the landmines cause in Azerbaijan. So let me start my presentation with this number. There are more than 10,000, according to our initial estimates, there are more than 10,000 square kilometers of mine-contaminated, mine and UXO and other ERW contaminated land in the liberated territories only. We are constantly reviewing the areas. We constantly carry out our survey operations, so the numbers do change from time to time. At this point, we have identified that, according to our initial estimates, there are 1.5 million, up to 1.5 million mines that have been laid there. Our major challenge is lack of reliable information. We have received some information, however, according to our analysis, that data is not reliable and it's not comprehensive, so we have to count only on ourselves and only on our own information that we receive from our survey and clearance operations in the field. There was some video footage on this slide. Those are the minefields. Some of the mines can be visually seen, but majority of them are subsurface and they cannot be seen visually. This is the typical picture that can be seen in the liberated territories, destroyed and abandoned ghost towns with a lot of construction rubble that is mixed with the with mines, explosive devices, booby traps from time to time. All of this construction rubble stay there on the ground for for decades. Now, when the large-scale reconstruction program of the government is ongoing, we have to deal with this rubble very carefully, clear it, and then declare the certain village as cleared. So all of this must be dealt by hand, by machines, but it must be searched and certified as clear. We do find different types of landmines on those territories. This is the list of the regions where we find them and some of the pictures for your attention. We did find landmines in 2022. We did find landmines that were produced in 2021 after the trilateral agreement was signed. Those mines are of Armenian production, and we also come across with a variety of previously unknown types of mines to us. They are unconventional, let's say, unconventional types, unconventional anti-personnel mines, the copies of the conventional mines, and we find mines in the belts. We find small groups of mines. Basically, we take the territory of Karabakh, the whole territory of Karabakh, as the suspected hazardous area. So every area must be dealt with in line with international standards. We have to clear, release, or survey. So basically, we are not capable to say that any piece of land there is no threat on this land, it can be released immediately. No, it has to go through certain processes in accordance with international and national standards. In our work, we come across with lots of booby traps, unfortunately. They have been placed in different locations, in the entrances to the buildings, behind the doors, behind the windows. Some people become also victims of these booby traps. After the special operation in September, we did find quite a lot of bridges and roads that have been heavily booby-trapped. Luckily, we have identified them before the area was used. I mean, we were deployed in advance to ensure the safety of these areas. And the cemeteries have also been mined. This is where the majority of the incidents involving local population happened, especially in the right after the end of the 44-day patriotic war. This is when the people wanted to visit those cemeteries because they were not able to do this for the last 3 decades. They were willing to visit, but they step on landmines. As you can see some pictures here, the cemeteries have been used as for military trenches, for defensive minefields, but also we can see some mines right next to the graves, anti-personnel mines. Unfortunately, this is the fact. And in those territories, there's a large UXO contamination. The unexploded ordnances are scattered all over the territory and contaminating the land, the soil, since the amount of explosive content in those ammunitions is very high, and over the time the explosive can leak into the soil, contaminating it, the soil as well as the groundwaters. The water canals that was mentioned here during today is another challenge. Nowadays, when many of them are being renovated and reconstructed, normally we stop to water them. They are being dried out for the clearance, and most of the time we would find a lot of various explosive devices on the bottom of these canals, and it is extremely difficult to clear them since some of the canals are concrete, and there's a lot of metal there, so it interferes with our detection equipment. Besides that, the territory of Karabakh in the past was very famous with its wine production and massive vineyards. Nowadays, all of them have been, they have dried out. The only remaining items there is this white concrete pickets, and they are also, there we also find a lot of mines as well as booby traps right there in the vineyards. The large fertile soils, large areas and large fertile soils have been abandoned for several decades. People still are not able to use this land at the moment, since the land is contaminated by landmines, and the territory, the soil is basically there is useless. It cannot be used, and again, there is a lot of metal pollution on the area. Those metals are mainly from, those are the exploded cases of the ammunitions, and they stay there. We clean them from time to time, but there is more and more that we find on the area. They stay there on the soil for decades and rust it and contaminate the soil itself as well. When the lakes and rivers dry here, some of them do dry in summer season, on the bottoms we would find, from time to time, we find landmines there. It's good that they have dried. We saw that mines there, but when there is a water, and especially if the current is strong, it is not possible to do any clearance there. Plastic pollution. There is a lot of plastic mines that have been placed in Karabakh. So you can see on this picture, this is the remnants of anti-personnel PMN2 type of mine. This is this amount of plastic that we collect from the field during, let's say, 1 or 2 hours during the day. This is the amount of plastic that's being collected. Mines do explode, and their plastic parts are scattered around, and they stay there, and they have also some explosive content. They stay there for decades and also contaminate the land. After the rain, etc., the TNT and plastic breakdown products are being soaked to the soil. The amount of carbon dioxide, CO2, emitted from the explosion of one anti-personnel mine is approximately 1 kilogram. The amount of carbon dioxide emitted by the explosion of one anti-tank mine is 29 kilograms. So according to our procedures, the safest way to get rid of any mine is detonation, exploding of this mine. So we have to follow this procedure because it is all about the safety of our people. But with every explosion, this is how much emission this is how much those mines emit the carbon dioxide, also a negatively impacting the environment. Sometimes we find mines on the trees, in the forests. This is something that we haven't seen anywhere else in the world. But here we found mines, these are anti-personnel, directional type of mines. They are booby-trapped, so even on the trees when we enter to the forests, we have to observe the trees for possible presence of mines. So it's not just soil. The water canals, there is an ancient subsurface water canal systems that were built many hundreds years ago here in Karabakh. They are still there, and now they're being renovated. However, to do any job there inside, to make sure that the waters are running inside of these canals properly, before any construction work can be done there, our deminers, as you can see on this video, we have a special team trained on that. We have procured the required equipment for them, so they would go down to that canal and clear it from unexploded ordnances, because the reason the unexploded ordnance reach that canals is that people normally would think that if they throw something into the canal, they would get rid of it. This is one reason, and the second reason can be that it was done intentionally during the occupation period. We have more than 3.4 thousand landmine survivors and victims that we have registered in our central database in the ANAMA headquarters. Since November 2020 up until now, we have 293 persons that were severely injured, and we have 68 people that were killed. The last demining accident happened several days ago. One of our field workers has stepped on an anti-personnel mine, and that has resulted in traumatic amputation of his lower limb. We have received some minefield records that were released to us after the international pressure was put on them. They have released some minefield records. However, as we said it in many occasions, the quality of these maps, unfortunately, are very, very low. We have identified that only 25% of all these records is more or less reasonably reliable. However, the remaining 75% is missing very important bits of information, like geographic coordinates, for example. So we don't know where actually this minefield described in this record is located, so which makes the use of this document make it useless, basically. And also, according to those records, the mines have been placed only in the territory of the former line of contact. However, taking into account the statistics from the last years, we have, as I said, 361 people who stepped on a mine, who become a landmine victim. These people, they were altogether 216 incidents happened because we can have more than one person killed or injured in one mine explosion. So only 72 out of these 216 incidents happened inside of the former line of contact. in the defensive minefields. But 144 of these incidents happened far beyond these areas. On this map, these red spots stand for the precise location of these mine explosions, so which means that the mines have not been only used in the line of contact for the defensive purposes. Landmines have been planted indiscriminately all over the territory, and we are carefully recording each of this incident, and this is the picture we have at the moment. We are working, so ANAMA is the lead agency in mine action in Azerbaijan. We have the biggest demining capacity with ANAMA, sitting with ANAMA, but there are other major state entities and commercial companies and national and international NGOs working with us in demining operations. So overall achievement includes clearance of 138,000 hectares of high priority land, where we have cleared 32,000 AP mines, more than 19,000 AT mines, more than 68,000 UXOs. Our annual target for this year is clearance of 60,000 hectares of high priority land. However, we are planning to reach the target of 65,000 hectares per year, most likely from next year or from the year after we will reach that target, which is really a huge target for demining. We are using demining machines, dogs, rats. You will witness some of this operation this afternoon. We are also producing, from the last year, we have started producing demining machines here in Azerbaijan. This is the first Azerbaijani demining machine. It's a very high quality, and we will see it today during the presentation. Our major aim, the aim of the humanitarian demining that we carry out, is to provide safe working and living conditions, ensure the safety of the reconstruction program, and ensure the safety of the former IDPs once they will be resettled back to their homeland. So all the demining is done. The ultimate goal is safe and voluntary resettlement of the internally displaced persons. People must go back to their home without any fear of landmines or any other explosive devices. Some of the examples of the projects that have been done, as it was mentioned, National SDG 18 has been adopted. It has 15 indicators and 5 targets. We will start reporting against this SDG from this year. Basically, this is the last slide in my presentation. We are thankful to all the partners, to the countries that have contributed to demining effort in Azerbaijan, and to all of our partners with whom we are working. Unfortunately, we are still the involvement of international community, international donor community to the humanitarian demining issue in Azerbaijan, where still significantly remain underfunded, but we hope that this support will increase in the years to come in the future. And I thank you for the presentation. I hope it was not too long. And thank you very much for your attention.
Samir, thank you very much. And I move immediately on to our next speaker. Heidi Kuhn is the founder of Roots for Peace and also holds the 2023 Laureate World Food Prize and Mother Teresa Award for Social Justice. In 1997, Heidi began her humanitarian non-profit organization with a vision of turning mines to vines, replacing landmines with vineyards and orchards worldwide. In a global quest for cultivating peace through agriculture, she has impacted the lives of millions of families living in war-torn lands by facilitating the removal of landmines and planting over 7 million fruit trees, sequestering carbon with climate-smart agriculture for future generations to thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, an absolute tour de force. Heideken, the floor is yours.
Get this. Thank you. Thank you for that very, very warm welcome. And I just would like to express, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it is my great honor to be back in Karabakh, where this is the third consecutive year that I have walked through the minefields of this beautiful region. Karabakh was once known as the beautiful Black Garden. Yet, when Ahmoud, president of International Eurasia Press Fund, and my dear friend Vugar invited me here for International Women's Day on March 8th, 2022, only a few days after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I saw things that I could never even imagine, mile after mile after mile of land, vineyards that were cruelly riddled with explosive remnants of war. We took action, and with the brave deminers, we detonated those landmines. And ladies and gentlemen, I remain more committed today to the concept of turning mines to vines, replacing the scourge of landmines with vineyards and orchards worldwide. And from the heart of Karabakh, what we plant here this spring will reap a harvest of hope on the grounds when the world convenes in Baku for COP29. For as we remove a landmine and we plant a grapevine or any tree of life, it feeds future generations. But every tree planted sequesters the carbon. So this is a business model for peace, the economics of peace. To demine, replant, and rebuild communities worldwide is our moral responsibility in this room. Let me take you on a journey through the minefields that I have walked throughout the world for the past 27 years. In September 21st, 1997, I hosted an event in my home. I'm a cancer survivor, and I thought, cancer is a landmine, and landmines are a cancer to the earth, and the solution is removal. I learned there were an estimated 110 million landmines in over 60 countries. And looking into the eyes of my 4 children, I couldn't imagine mothers who take care of children who kick a soccer ball out of bounds to lose their life or limb to a landmine, or starting that tractor in Croatia and hearing that blast and meeting mothers who thanked me for having removed these mines so that their grandchildren don't have to suffer the consequences. I began by going to the Napa Valley, which was my backyard. It was fall, it was time to cultivate a harvest of hope. I went to very prominent vintners, knocked at their door, not a penny to my name, just armed with an idea. And what we did is that we Robert Mondavi, Milenko Grgic, Diane Disney Miller, Tor Kenward of Behringer, Eric Wente joined me in Ottawa to witness the signing of the Ottawa Treaty to ban landmines. And while the United States was not and is not a signatory, this is a moral responsibility of farmer to farmer, far beyond the political landmines that exist today. We raised funds, and in January 2000, I took my first footsteps into the minefields of Croatia. And with the brave demining teams from Kromac, I went to a place called Vukovar, and Ilok, and Dragalic, Čestamale, Čestavelika, Bibinje, Baštica, which means little garden. And with the efforts of the California vintners, we raised the funds to remove these insidious landmines and restore the grape industry. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I can hold up Croatia with our dear dignitary in the front row and say that we have been able to see Croatia go from 1.2 million landmines to one of the top tourist destinations in the world today. So amidst the tremendous challenges in our world, I truly believe that peace is possible from the ground up, and the removal of a single landmine is an act of peace. We continued our work throughout Afghanistan. After 9/11 attacks, we learned that Afghanistan once was dubbed as the Garden of Central Asia, yet 80% of the land was riddled with landmines. We began by restoring the grape industry, pruning the vines, doubling the yield, and being able to create jobs for farmers. 7 million fruit trees have been planted, and we took the agricultural exports from $250 million in 2014 to over $1.4 billion by 2020. That is the economics of peace, the business of peace that we have to get down to as humanity. Now, over my shoulder, I'm seeing all sorts of photos being shown, just a myriad of the minefields we've walked. We've gone to Vietnam, where in my generation, the Vietnam War was raging. I was a student at UC Berkeley, and yet nearly 50 years after the war has ended, 80% of the land in Vietnam remains contaminated by landmines in the former DMZ, an area called Quang Tri Province. But Roots of Peace is partnering with MAG, the Mines Advisory Group, and after the mines are taken out safely, we're restoring the bounty of agriculture, and tens of thousands of Vietnamese farmers have been trained to grow the black pepper, and we're exporting that black pepper to the United States and giving the world a taste of peace. We continued our work in Israel when a little boy named Daniel Yuval stepped on a landmine when he was only 11 years old. There was a rare snowfall in the Golan Heights, and the warning signs of landmines were covered. He asked me if I would help him make a landmine-free world. Together, we lobbied at the Knesset and brought forth the first ever humanitarian mine action law. And through, again, the generous funding of the Napa Valley Vintners, Paul and Shirley Dean, we raised the funds to remove landmines in the fields of Bethlehem, 4 miles from where Jesus Christ was born, in a Muslim village governed by Israel. 3 faiths, 1 minefield. And we all know the atrocities going on in the Holy Land today. I think it is our moral responsibility as women to stand for the gift of life, and I cannot think of a better way than to remove these insidious landmines, not only from the soil, but from our soul. The hatred in our soil is represented by a landmine. The hatred in our hearts is pandemic throughout the world. But we cannot leave a void. We must fill it with love. And a seed planted today, as it has for thousands of years, the earth forgives us. It's quite amazing. With 110 million landmines, the earth forgives us. And I really call upon this opportunity here in Karabakh, because we can all look on our social media today and say, what's happened now in the world? Well, Roots of Peace is bringing next Monday 5 women vintners from Mykolaiv, Ukraine. We're bringing them to the Napa Valley, to Gurgit Hills, and we're training these women to grow high-value crops of the grape industry. Not just grapes, but the regenerative agriculture. For we must learn how to manage our soil so that climate-smart agriculture becomes prolific. On International Women's Day this year, I made a conscious choice to walk the minefields of Angola with 62 of the bravest African deminers from MAG. We went to Luena, we detonated those landmines again, and I look forward to going back and partnering with our international agencies, many of you in this room, because we have to, again, not leave the land barren. We must fill it with the seeds of prosperity, the seeds of agriculture, the dignity this will give to farmers and families around the world. It's really quite simple. Mines to Vines, which began so long ago. We're very, very proud. I would like to thank UNDP in this room. We began our work in Croatia in 2002, and as I'm told, we're the longest continuously operating development company working in Afghanistan today and employing women, despite the tremendous challenges with the AKA Taliban, the current regime. I can't even remember the name they call it, but let's just say Roots of Peace carries no flag. We serve the farmer. And we're very, very proud to be funded by the U.S. Department of State, INL, International Narcotics and Law Enforcement, again, partnering with the demining agencies, the HALO Trust, the Mines Advisory Group, and others to remove the mines and, again, restore the agriculture and prosperity. So in conclusion, I would just like to say, let's seize the moment, carpe diem. This is a day that we can walk the soils of Karabakh. I don't want to come back again next year and be asking for a Mines to Vines project. Perhaps there are those in this room who could help establish that this spring. And I just, again, want to thank Ahmoud, if you could raise your hand in the back, president of IEPF, and of course, Vugar. I wrote a book, and the foreword is by Her Majesty Queen Noor. And in America, actually, it's bipartisan. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Ambassador Cindy McCain, and yes, the animals also fall victims to landmines. Dr. Jane Goodall wrote on the cover of the book, and it's now been translated in Azerbaijan. Again, thank you, Samir, for safely getting me through the minefields. I'll give that to you. And Ahmoud and I will be signing this proclamation later today, again, reaffirming the leadership of President Aliyev in bringing forth the 18th Sustainable Development Goal, because none of the other SDGs may be accomplished in a minefield. I would like to close by thanking ANAMA for presenting me at the World Food Prize. The last several times that I've been here, again, I've detonated landmines, but this is a shovel made from the remnants of war, the explosive remnants of war from Karabakh. And I believe this shovel can be our global call to action in this room today, not only turning mines to vines, but using the words of the Isaiah prophecy, respected by Christians, Jews, and Muslims alike. The words are etched in stone across the street from the United Nations at the Ralph Bunche Park, and the late dear Kofi Annan had bestowed the garden to be the Roots of Peace garden on the soils of New York after 9/11. May I say the words in my closing remarks? May they beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, so that nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Present that to you.
Heidi, thank you so much, and I'm greatly touched. This will take pride of place in my office, that's for sure. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, delegates, we are really honored today. We have on the panel Vice Chairperson, Dr. Haji Ali Akigul of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Independent Permanent Human Rights Commission. He has been serving in this role, indeed also as chairman in 2022. He has a legal background and has many publications on human rights as well. He has carried out investigative visits to Karabakh with his commission and has provided very detailed reports on their findings in those visits. May I kindly invite Dr. Akigul to take the floor and make his presentation. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of the Independent Permanent Human Rights Commission, it is my privilege to attend this conference on a highly important subject, which continues to impact adversely on the realization of human rights of a large segment of population in this region. I also take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers and their spirited team for making excellent arrangement for the conference and extending customary warm Azeri hospitality. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, IPHRC, as part of its mandate to report on human rights situation of Muslim communities across the world, has undertaken a fact-finding visit in September 2021 and a follow-up visit in 2023 to the liberated Karabakh region of Azerbaijan to assess the human rights and humanitarian situation of these liberated areas. The IPHRC delegation was shocked to witness the extent of irreversible damage inflicted to the physical infrastructure, rich cultural and religious heritage, and environment of the region that once used to be a vibrant economic and cultural hub. The massive destruction of social and business entities at the hands of the Armenian occupying forces throughout the past years represent grave violations of human rights and requires joint efforts to rebuild Karabakh in order for its population to overcome a long-standing struggle against the Armenian occupation. Ladies and gentlemen, the issue of landmines laid down by the Armenians in Azerbaijan is a significant and ongoing concern stemming from a protracted conflict. This conflict, which has been multiple phases of escalation since the late 1980s, has left a legacy of landmine and unexploded ordnance that pose severe risk to civilians and the environment, and also hinder post-conflict recovery and development efforts. The landmines have had devastating effects on the civilian population, particularly in areas returned to Azerbaijani control following 2020 war. These mines have caused numerous casualties and injuries among civilians, including farmers, children, and have significantly hampered the safe return of displaced persons and refugees. The presence of mines also obstructs agricultural activities, infrastructure development, and general economic recovery in affected regions. Ironically, these landmines were not only laid down by Armenians during the occupation, but also during its forced withdrawal from the occupied territories after the ceasefire. Regrettably, those mines were laid in a haphazard manner in almost every part, including agricultural fields, graveyards, gardens, and other social and economic means, in order to inflict human losses and as much as possible. By doing so, Armenia has imposed an environmental and humanitarian disaster which will take decades to resolve. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, from the perspective of international human rights law, the use of landmines raises significant concern due to their indiscriminate nature and long-term humanitarian impact. Landmines, particularly anti-personnel mines, pose ongoing threats to civilian population long after conflicts have ended, leading to severe injuries, deaths, and socio-economic disruption. It affects both civil and political rights and social, cultural, and other fundamental human rights. The key human rights affected by landmines include right to life. The presence of landmines endanger lives, often resulting in fatalities or severe injuries. According to Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person, Article 3. And Article 6 of the ICCPR and Article 2 of the European Convention on Human Rights also protect these rights. Right to health. Landmine injuries require complex medical treatment and long-term rehabilitation. The International Covenant on Social, Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights recognizes the right to the highest attainable standard of health in Article 12. Landmines impede access to health service and create ongoing health crises for affected individuals and communities. Right to personal security and freedom from cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment. Survivors of landmine explosions often suffer from severe physical and psychological trauma. This aligns with prohibitions against torture and inhuman treatment under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR Article 7, and under the Convention Against Torture and European Convention on Human Rights. Right to education and livelihood. Landmines can prevent children from attending schools and adults from engaging in agriculture or other forms of employment, violating the rights to education and adequate standards of living as stated in Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the social, economic, and cultural rights. In addition, right to free movement, right to property, right to freedom of religion, and other many fundamental rights and freedoms are at stake because of the land mining. In addition, the right to a healthy environment, increasingly recognized under international human rights law, is crucial for newly liberated region of Azerbaijan, which have experienced massive environmental degradation during Armenian occupation, including landmines, destruction of infrastructure, and pollution. Restoring and protecting the environment is crucial for the health and well-being of its inhabitants. For the newly liberated region of Azerbaijan, realizing these rights involves addressing the environmental consequences of Armenian occupation, ensuring resettlement process, and leveraging international support and accountability mechanism. These efforts are essential for achieving sustainable peace and development in the region. The International Covenant on Social, Economic, and Cultural Rights explicitly links the right to health to the environmental conditions, recognizing the improvement of all aspects of environmental and industrial hygiene as part of this right. In July 2022, the UN General Assembly passed a resolution recognizing the right to a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment as a human right. This non-binding resolution reflects a global consensus on the importance of environmental rights. In addition, European Court of Human Rights has interpreted the right to life in Article 2, prohibition of ill treatment in Article 3, and respect for private and family life in Article 8 to include environmental considerations based on the context. The IPHRC delegation, which visited this region, was deeply disappointed at the lack of cooperation extended by the Armenian side in providing accurate maps of the installed landmines in areas previously occupied by them. Due to this non-cooperation, the progress in demining of the areas is rather slow, as only about 10% of total area is so far cleared from the landmines. Accordingly, with this pace, it will take around 20-25 years to completely demine the liberated areas. Therefore, such acts are seriously impeding the realization of rehabilitation and reconstruction plan for the hundreds of thousands of IDPs desperately waiting to return to their homes in a safety and dignity. The delegation, based on provisions of international law, concluded that the use of landmines by Armenia in a civilian area is a violation of international humanitarian law, including Geneva Convention of 1949, when it has led to discriminate harm to civilian population and their livelihood, especially when these mines were laid without proper regard for their impact on civilian population. According to Rule 71st of the Geneva Convention, the use of weapons which are by nature indiscriminate is prohibited. It infringes on the rights of Azerbaijani people, including their right to life and other fundamental rights. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Commission appreciates the persistent efforts by the government of Republic of Azerbaijan in mine clearance with support from international organizations and partners. The Azerbaijan National Agency of Mine Action, ANAMA, has been at the forefront of these efforts, utilizing both manual demining techniques and advanced technology to locate and neutralize mines. Despite these efforts, the process is slow and labor-intensive, highlighting the need for sustained international support and cooperation. The states are under obligation to take all feasible precautions to protect civilians from the effects of landmines, including marking and monitoring mined areas. This obligation is rooted in both international humanitarian law and international human rights law. B. Clearing landmines from their territories and providing medical care, rehabilitation, and socio-economic support to landmine victims. C. To cooperate in mine clearance and victim assistance, sharing resources, technology, and expertise to mitigate the impact of landmines. This cooperation is vital for countries lacking the necessary means to address the issue effectively. D. Providing comprehensive support to landmine survivors involves addressing not only immediate medical needs, but also long-term psychological, social, and economic rehabilitation. It is recommended that resettlement efforts must ensure the right to a healthy environment for returning population. International organizations such as UN, OIC, and OSCE should support Azerbaijan in implementing environmental rights in newly liberated region through monitoring, technical assistance, and funding for restoration projects. Also, in order to hold accountable Armenian authorities for infestation of mine and non-cooperation with the Azerbaijani government before the relevant international mechanism, legal proceedings should be initiated and followed diligently. I am confident that today's deliberation will have open and constructive discussions that will address both the legal, human rights, and humanitarian aspect of this important topic, as well as help find practical solutions to these challenging issues. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And then moving on swiftly now, last but not least, a presentation by Rothna Booth, who is a highly accomplished leader with over 2 decades of experience in mine action, rural development, humanitarian aid, and natural resource management. She serves currently as the Executive Director of the ASEAN Regional Mine Action Center and holds the distinction of being the first female to assume this esteemed role. Rothna, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me today. It's a great honor for me to share the insight of the environmental challenge that facing in our regions due to landmine and unexploded ordnance. So before we go to the topic, I would like to share a bit of overview of the Regional Mine Action Center. So the Asian Regional Mine Action Center has been established in 2002. It has been established in 2002 during the Asian Leadership Meeting, Asian Summit. Yeah, so, but our organization didn't adopt the term of reference until 2013. And our permanent secretary has been formed in 2017 in Phnom Penh, Kingdom of Cambodia. So the Asian Regional Mine Action Center is a center of excellence under the Asian Security Cooperation and also under the Asian Political Security Community Blueprints. Our purpose is to encourage the effort to address the landmine and explosive remnant of war for the interest Asian member states. The center aims to collectively tackle of the humanitarian aspect of landmine and ERW through the integrated approach of the experience sharing, skill training, and other capacity building activity. Moving back. Yeah. If we're looking at the current situation, mine action in Asian regions. So the humanitarian mine action in Asian is coordinate effort to reduce the impact of landmine and explosive remnant of war on civilian population. The member state has made significant progress in addressing this issue over the years. National Mine Action Authority in Asian member states has made significant progress in identifying and clearing landmines and other explosive remnant of war. They have been also raised awareness about the danger of landmine and provide the support of landmine victims. Non-governmental organizations, national and international organizations, as well as the UN agency, is an important role in supporting the National Mine Action Authority in our Asian member states. They provide funding, technical assistance, capacity building to help address the humanitarian impact of landmines. So let's focus back to our topic for today. It's empowering community collaboration approach of environmental challenge and mine action. So let's talk about the land degradations. So landmine and UXO not only pose a direct threat to the human life, but it also leaves vast area of land unusable. This hamper agriculture, leading to reduced food production and economic hardship for the local community. In addition, contamination lands suffer from deforestation and soil erosion, which further degrade our ecosystem and biodiversity. Another critical challenge is the water contamination. Explosive remnant of war can be leach harmful substance into the water sources, endangering both human and wildlife health. This contamination is affected drinking water supply, agriculture, irrigation, and aquatic ecosystem, creating a ripple affected environmental and health problem. So lastly, it's about climate change. Climate change is a compound of this challenge. In our region, it's highly vulnerable to its impact, and it preys on the landmine, makes significant and difficult implementation effective climate adaptation strategy. For instance, reforestation and land rehabilitation efforts are solely hinder and contamination. So despite all of these challenges, we are making a significant stride to several innovative solutions. One of our key strategies to embrace and green humanitarian action. These involve adaptation of environmentally friendly practices and mine clearing operation. We are advocating to use biodegradable material, minimizing waste, and harnessing renewable energy sources. Collaboration is another cornerstone of our approach. Working closely with the National Mine Action Authority, NGO, and international partner. We're sharing knowledge and resources to enhance effectively and sustainability of our efforts. This collaboration spirits ensure that we are not only clearing landmines, but we also rebuild community and ecosystem. Innovative technology are also playing a crucial role. The deployment of drone and remote sensing technology has revolutionized mine action clearance. These tools improve efficiency and safety of operation, allowing to map and monitor contaminated area more effectively. This means we can target our clearing effort precisely, minimizing environmental disturbance and maximizing impact. Capacity building is very important, and also information sharing are the fundamental of our success. We are committed to train and develop the skill of those involved in mine action. This ensures that operations are conducted safely and effectively. Moreover, by collecting analysis and disseminating data on the mine contamination and clearing progress, we are continually learning and improving our approach. If we're looking at ahead, it's clear that increased funding and resources are vital. Sustainable financing will enable us to scale up our effort to address the ongoing threat of landmine and more effectively. We must also align our mine action initiative with the Sustainable Development Goal, as well as in the Asian region, and we also need to be in line with the Asian policy frameworks. So this strategy framework emphasizes the role of mine action in promoting peace, justice, environmental sustainability. In conclusion, to address this environmental challenge posed by landmine and UXO is a complex but it's essential task. Through the green humanitarian mine action collaborative effort, innovation technology, and sustained commitment, mine action, collaborative efforts, innovation technology, we can mitigate this impact and creating a safer, more sustainable future for all. Thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to hear more for this next couple of days from the best practices from other experiences, organizations, and policymakers. So thank you.
Rothana, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a huge apology for you all. I wanted to keep time for questions and informed answers, but I've lost that particular battle, I'm afraid. So please accept my apologies. You've been very diligent in listening to all of the panelists, but I'm not going to be able to offer an opportunity for questions to be taken simply because the clock has beat me. But having said that, I hope you will accept from all of the panelists through me a tremendous gratitude for being such a well-behaved audience and engaging with us and listening intently to such well-informed and deeply researched presentations that took place today. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would also kindly join with me in showing our appreciation to ANAMA through the chair, Vuga Sulmanov, who is present, and also to UNDP through their coordinator present here, Vladanka Andreeva. Thank you all so much. And ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in showing your appreciation to our panelists today. And with that, I hand the floor back to the organizers. Thank you.
That was a very comprehensive discussion. Pretty sure this exchange of experience and ideas could have a great impulse for future collaboration. Thank you very much, Mr. Karim, for moderating the panel. And of course, dear panelists, thank you for your contributions. We can move on. So if you want to go back to your seats, because we will we'll need your attention to the monitors. Yeah. We are way late on the program, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. That means we had a really great productive discussions. And now I would love to have your attention on the monitors again, because we have a video demonstration for you. It will create a clearer image for you in terms of what work has been done in Karabakh, including and not limited by mine action, reconstruction, and rehabilitation efforts.
smart city. So, as you can see, and I don't know whether it's possible to show it from here, the laser, you can see this in the master plan, the Congress Hall, as well as the pavilion next to it. On the right-hand side, there will be the hotel that is going to be constructed. The construction will going to start this year. But also the main two streets, which is connected to the airport, but at the same time connects to the highways. There is a bus station just opposite to the Congress Center, but it will be also the good hospital that will be also planning to build in the following months, year. The city mosque of Zəngilan is also prominently situated. You're going to visit this mosque today. And according to the master plan, bicycles and pedestrian lanes will be creating along the inner city roads, and extensive greenery will be planted around it. So you can also see the townhouses on the upper hills, which will be also constructed. Actually, I would say that by the 2026, this area that you can see in the center side of the city are going to be developed, constructed, and the people are going to be moved here. It also consists with the administrative buildings. The administrative building, we built it the way that every governmental agencies are going to sit in one building. We believe that this is the most efficient way, firstly, to govern, and in the meantime, to make the right quick decisions. So this is the school, the Sokol school that you can see, and on the right-hand side you can see the buildings, how it will look like from the design perspective. It's also been created designed by the Swiss company. We already started the construction of school and these buildings. It's going to be finished by the end of this year, and will be handed over to the residents of Zəngilan city. So the school, as you can see, has a very modern, but at the same time very efficient view. So there will be also the 4 buildings, 4 floors and buildings, and the first floors are going to be handed over to the shops, markets, supermarkets, and aptex. So in conclusion, Zəngilan city will emerge as a modern hub of innovation featuring data access and smart connectivity for all. And with the safe and dignified neighborhoods, with the modern housing, high-quality urban infrastructure, and community centers will form the foundation of Zəngilan. And our goal, of course, is to create sustainable living conditions for the people who are going to move here. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and you will see the Zəngilan yourself. Thank you.
We wish you good luck with the implementation of the master plan, Mr. Hajiev. So far, we had a really, really productive day today. We are a little bit late on the program, but we'll have a sightseeing, then we'll have a lunch. So it's going to be an interesting day for us today. And tomorrow there will be 3 panel discussions. With over a quarter of century of experience in the humanitarian mine action sector, the Mine Action Agency of the Republic of Azerbaijan has emerged a mature, well-structured, competent organization, and we would love to say that we value our partnership with other organizations. So far, I think everyone looks tired, and I hope that we will enjoy the rest of your day. So we're gonna end the session today, and we'll have a transfer to the Zəngilan City Mosque or the Ağalı Village. I think the organizing team will give us more information regarding that. Thank you for your attention. Let's gather here in 10 minutes. Let's gather again here in 10 minutes. No spoiler alerts. So maybe we'll have another presentation for you. Let's check with the organization. Here, let's meet here in 10 minutes. The last thing on our agenda today in this conference room, so we can move on to sightseeing, lunch, and many other fun activities. To all of the guests in the coffee break area, kindly ask you to come back to the main conference room so we can proceed. Thank you very much. Feels like the sun is very nice today. I can already see tan on some of your faces. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. With over a quarter of a century of experience in the humanitarian mine action sector, the Mine Action Agency of the Republic of Azerbaijan has emerged as a mature, well-structured, and technically competent organization. In 2020, the Azerbaijan government expanded ANAMA's mandate, enhancing its operational capacity to meet the growing demand for humanitarian mine action in the country. ANAMA's strong international profile and recognition as a regional center of excellence highlight its pivotal role in developing mine action capacity in neighboring countries. The establishment of the Center of Excellence signifies a strategic investment to enhance Azerbaijan's mine action capabilities and contribute to global efforts for a mine-free world. This initiative reflects Azerbaijan's commitment to peace, security, and sustainable development, aligning with both national and international aspirations. The Center of Excellence will provide specialized training, research facilities, and knowledge-sharing opportunities, emphasizing the latest techniques and technologies in the mine action sector. By establishing the Center of Excellence, Azerbaijan showcases its resilience and dedication to regional and global cooperation, serving as a beacon of hope and testament to the power of international collaboration in advancing humanitarian causes. Thank you for joining us on this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and distinguished representatives, welcome to the signing ceremony of the letter of intent for the establishment of the Center of Excellence for Mine Action in Azerbaijan. With a round of applause, I will invite the representatives for the signing ceremonies. Thank you very much. Hayırlı olsun. Wish the parties best of luck. The long-awaited moment has come. The buses are waiting for you. We'll have a sightseeing. We'll have a lunch break. Hope to see you soon. Stay hydrated. The sun is up today, so wish you a pleasant ending of the day. See you soon.